And after 20 years at Camden Yards, 2012 has been the most exciting season in recent history. And in honor of Oriole Hall of Famers, legends have gathered in Legends Park to witness the unveiling of bronze statues to forever immortalize these great men. And on the field here in Birdland, the team has not disappointed. The O's have posted 42 wins here in Baltimore and have treated the fans to many exhilarating finishes. Today, the Birds start the last regular season homestand and make their final push to give Camden her first playoff baseball game since 1997. The Orioles are on Masson on a gorgeous Monday afternoon at Camden Yards. The Birds welcoming in the Toronto Blue Jays. It's a twilight doubleheader against the Jays. And the standings in the AL East as we go down the stretch. 10 games to go in the season. And as play begins today, the Orioles 1 game back of the Yankees in the division. Tampa Bay hanging around. They're 5.5 out. And in the wild card, the Orioles holding a 1-game lead on Oakland for the top wild card spot. The Athletics 2.5 games up on the Angels for the number 2 spot. And hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us as the O's and the Jays play a doubleheader, a day made for Ernie Banks, and we have the weather to back it up, so we'll play too as the Orioles continue their charge towards the postseason. And when you look at this season and how it has developed, a key component to the Orioles contending for a playoff game has been how they have played within the division. Last year, the team struggled mightily within the AL East, but not the case this year. In fact, the numbers are overwhelmingly positive for the Orioles within the AL East. The O's have taken 4 of 5 series from the Red Sox and have gone 10-5 overall. Against these Blue Jays, 4 out of 5 series, they're 9-5. They've won 3 of the 5 series from Tampa Bay, going 9-6. 3-1-2 splits against the Yankees, so 9-9. 14-5 with 2 splits on the year. An outstanding 37-25 overall record. And that key number on the bottom, in the last 9 series within the division, the Orioles have not lost a series. 8 wins and 1 split. And Mike Bordick, when you reside in the toughest division in baseball, you have to be able to compete. Not only have the Orioles done that, they've excelled within the division.
Well, they sure have. I mean, American League East has been the toughest division in baseball for the longest time now, and I think psychologically it's just been a hurdle for them to overcome. I mean, they've had losing seasons for the last 14 years, so a tough way to go about it. You see the Yankees continue to build their team with the finances they have, and the Red Sox always contending. So to be able to overcome that mental hurdle like they've done this year, their confidence is just skyrocketing, and they feel like they can beat anybody right now.
Now, 10 games to go in the regular season. The Orioles today are beginning their final homestand of the year. 4-game series against the Jays, a day off on Thursday. Then the Red Sox come in for 3 over the weekend before the Orioles head to Tampa to close it out. Now, they're on the verge of doing something nobody anticipated, and that's, in fact, clinching a postseason berth. How do you keep away from being anxious as a player and just let it play out?
Boy, it's tough. I'll tell you what, because there's so much media attention now, and they've put themselves in this position. So I think it's a matter of sticking with the routine that they've had all year, take the field, and get comfortable doing what they've done.
And let's get comfortable together as the Orioles and the Jays getting set to play a doubleheader. Twilighter here at Camden Yards. Lineups and first pitch are coming up next. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep is the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. First of two against the Blue Jays here today, and it's been all about improved pitching for the Orioles as we look at our Kia Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit Kia.com. Since July 29th, the Orioles have gone 35-16, more wins than any team in the major leagues, in large part because of the success of the pitching. 26 different pitchers have pitched for the Birds this year, and we asked pitching coach Rick Adair about the depth resulting in success.
They all know that when you have people pushing you from behind, it's important in terms of the competition. And competition in the big leagues is tough, but when it's within your own club, it makes it even tougher. So, but these guys have responded, and we've seen all these guys do extremely well, and extremely proud of them.
Well, Rick Adair and Buck Showalter have seen the team pitching, Mike. The ERA coming into the game below 4. It's at 3.97.
Oh, yeah. Well, the pitching has been the key all year for them. But all of this, the competition that Rick Adair is talking about, started in spring training when Dan Duquette and Buck Showalter brought in just a slew of pitchers, and nobody had a job locked up. So the competition started then, and it even continued through the season when guys are started to go up and down.
Well, beautiful day for baseball. Here's our Train game time temperature. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. 71 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 7, and a very comfortable 28% humidity, mostly sunny skies. Dodge starting lineup. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. Brett Laurie, Colby Rasmus, and Edwin Encarnacion in that number 3 spot. 5 home runs, 8 ribbies, head-to-head on the year against the Orioles. Adam Lynn, Rajay Davis, and Kelly Johnson, Danny Echeverria, Jeff Mathis, and Anthony Gose in left field batting ninth.
And here's a scouting report this afternoon on Steve Johnson. Whatever it takes, boy, he certainly earned his way to the big leagues after putting up impressive numbers in AAA Norfolk. And Buck Showalter has used him out of the bullpen where he's been successful, and as a starter. Here he's making his 3rd start of the season. He has that 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curve, and change. Everything out of the same arm slot, and he's a command master. He can control every pitch, and he can throw it at any time in the count.
And Johnson deals, and it's down and away, and 1-0. We are underway in game 1.
Take a look at Steve Johnson, 28 1/3 innings pitched this year, just 16 hits, 6 earned runs, low base on balls, and higher strikeouts. Lefties just 154 off him. Very good numbers.
And this is down and away, so it's 2-0 on Brett Laurie. Laurie comes in 5 out of his last 25. This Blue Jays club has struggled mightily. They are 0-6 on this current road trip as Laurie swings through it, and it's 2-1. Not only has John Farrell's club lost all 6 games on this trip, Mike, they have been outscored 42-16.
Yeah, offensively kind of struggling as a group, but Brett Lowry just coming off the disabled list, so he's still trying to find his rhythm at the plate, getting more at bats now at the top of the order, so I'm sure they're hoping that he can add some spark to the offense, get hot.
And a 3-1 pitch misses low, and there's a leadoff walk as Brett Laurie will take first base.
Take a look at the Orioles defense here. Nate McLouth in left field, Jones in center, Chris Davis getting the start in right field, Machado and Reynolds once again on the corners, Hardy and Ryan Flaherty at second base up the middle, Wieters doing the catching for Steve Johnson.
And here is Colby Rasmus, another of the struggling Blue Jays at the plate. The Toronto center fielder comes in just 2 out of his last 19, and if you're the Orioles, this is one of those trap series when you take on a team that is struggling, as Johnson deals, and there's a strike, and it's 0-1. The Blue Jays are playing it out. They know in 10 days they're going home. They're very loose. They're just playing out the string, if you will, and John Farrell's club, as a result, is very dangerous because there is little to no pressure on this team at the moment, except for possibly trying to impress for next year.
Well, and that's the whole key, and John Farrell has talked to his players about that. that situation exactly. The fact that, listen, they're all being evaluated right now. Sure, they're having a very disappointing season. They've had some crucial injuries along the way, but every game matters to these guys, especially some of the younger players that aren't under contract. So they have to continue to prove themselves. So they're going to go out there and play hard, even though they've had a rough stretch here recently.
0-2 on Rasmus as he bunted foul on the attempt. Johnson checks the runner, and the pitch swung on and fouled back. Steve last pitched last Wednesday in Seattle, the finale of that 3-game series against the Mariners, and he pitched 3 outstanding innings, no runs on just 1 hit. He struck out 4 and he walked 1. He has pitched 5 times in relief since his last start, which was a day shy of a month ago, August 25th, against these Blue Jays. Here's the 0-2, and it's outside, 1-2. He also has a string going, Mike, of 16 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. He hasn't allowed a run since that start on August the 25th. It came in the first inning when Encarnacion hit a home run, and that one just misses outside. Wow. Chad Fairchild, a very small strike zone early on, and the count to 2-2.
Yeah, trying to nibble the edge, at least induce a swing or something, maybe get a call, but you certainly have to find out how far the home plate umpire is going to go. Good test right there. Didn't get the call.
2-2 on Rasmus. Runner at first, none down. And again outside, ball 3.
Well, if he keeps hitting his spot like that, Matt Wieters is not moving his glove, he will eventually get those calls, and Matt Wieters will certainly get into his ear and say, listen, he's being very consistent right now. Help him out a little bit.
Laurie takes his lead, 3-2. Laurie doesn't go, and it's outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and this one hurts as Rasmus was down 0-2 after 2 pitches.
Take a look. You see the outside corner just being worked on heavily. This one just tails way off the plate. So lost a little bit of his command there, but just nibbling the edges on Rasmus, being careful with him. Try to be more aggressive here, especially with the shadows out there in front of home plate.
Well, Steve Johnson, 25, and here's his pitching repertoire.
Yeah, great group of pitches, the changeup, curve, fastball, and slider. But really, I was talking to Matt Wieters earlier about Steve Johnson. Everything that he has comes out of the same arm slot. So if he throws his slider and his curve out of the same arm slot, and it varies with the breaks, you see the success there. The opponent's average is 200 on his curveball, 286, a little bit higher on his slider. But since he has a fact, there are pitchers that have that unique quality, like Pedro Martinez, certainly one of the best ever in the game of baseball, but everything looked the same coming out of the same arm slot, and Steve Johnson falls into that category. Now, he might not have the same effectiveness of pitches as far as velocity and maybe bite on his curveball, but certainly everything looks the same coming out of the hand.
The 1-1 to Encarnacion is right there for a strike, and it's 1-2. So Johnson, back-to-back walks, now gets ahead of a dangerous hitter. Encarnacion, 40 home runs, 3rd most in the American League, trailing Miguel Cabrera and Josh Hamilton, who are tied for the league lead with 42. And the 1-2, and he got him. Encarnacion down on strikes and 1 away. Off speed, and Encarnacion couldn't reach it.
Well, just challenging one of the best power hitters in the game today, Encarnacion. Look at that, 91 miles an hour, pretty much center cut fastball. Just gets it by him.
Our pitch track brought to you by Nissan. Nissan's bottom line sales event is going on now. Hurry in today for big savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com to test drive at your local dealer. The bottom line, the event will end on October the 1st. So a dangerous hitter retired. 1st and 2nd, 1 down. Here's Adam Lind. And there's a strike 0-1. So there you go. He goes right back to that corner and gets the call.
Yeah. Keep hitting that spot.
Adam Lind is 4 out of his last 21. He has had such a tough year. He was even sent back to AAA for a time. Johnson deals 0-1, and it's a little low, 1-1 the count.
Really trying to establish that fastball in the early part of this game, and I think possibly those shadows might have something to do with it as well. Matt Wieters, of course, catching the games up at Fenway Park, where the shadows last 2 games, day games, played a huge role in that game, those games.
Goes right back outside and gets the corner again. It's 1-2. Steve has 3 wins in his big league career. This is his 11th appearance and his 3rd start, and all 3 of those victories right here at Camden Yards in his hometown. He's ahead of Adam Lynn 1-2, and it's slapped foul to stay alive. This will be one of those days that as the day goes on, the stands will begin to fill up. There was a nice advance for this game in this series with the discounted tickets offered. Every one of those discounted seats in the bleachers and in the lower box seats in left field, every one of those tickets sold out. So the fans getting behind the Birds. The 1-2 to Lind is bounced towards first. That's a fair ball. Reynolds goes to the bag. He'll take the sure out. So 2 men down. The other runners move up. Laurie to third, Rasmus to second, but now 2 men are down.
Good play right there by Mark Reynolds. Using his feet well. Of course, Mark Reynolds, we've talked about his improved defense at first base here all year, and really has stepped up and saved a lot of errors from everybody on the infield, but moving his feet so much better, and you can just see the confidence and how comfortable he is over there.
Well, the Orioles, after going 10 straight games without an error, have committed an error in each of the last 2 games. Here's Rajay Davis, 2 down, swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. And he paints the outside corner. It's 0-2. One thing about Steve Johnson that is so interesting to watch, he doesn't have what you would call overpowering stuff, but yet is a strikeout pitcher. And a high pop-up left side. He's going to get out of it. J.J. Hardy back. He waits. And he's got it. So a couple of walks, 2 men left. Blue Jays don't score. We'll go to the bottom of the first at Camden Yards. Here come the Birds. Bottom of the first, a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups. Nate McLeod, J.J. Hardy, and Chris Davis in right field today. 400 batting average, 7 home runs, and 12 RBIs against Toronto. Adam Jones in center field, and Matt Wieters. Jim Thome will DH. Mark Reynolds, Ryan Flaherty, and Manny Machado for the Birds.
And there's the scouting report on Henderson Alvarez. Growing pains. He's only 22 years old. When he started the year, 7 quality starts out of his first 8. But since then, he's only had 7 quality starts out of his last 20 outings with an earned run average of 6.02. But he is an innings eater as he throws that first pitch. He's leading the way for the Blue Jays. 175 innings pitched this year. Power 2-seamer. And that's what makes him so effective. He likes to throw it. He's got great life in the zone with that pitch. Command issues have been a problem for him. Has a tendency to maybe elevate his pitches.
1-1 on Nate McLeod. The foul ball straight down at the plate. And a pop foul back this way, and it's 1-2. Nate is in an 0 for 10 drought. He also has just one hit in his last 15 at bats. But he has done a real nice job since taking over in that leadoff spot when Nick Markakis went out with a broken thumb. 1-2 is outside. He lays off in 2-2. We have talked quite a bit this year about the balance of this Orioles lineup, and the last road trip going 6-3 was a real good example of how that balance has helped the Birds on the year as McLeod goes down on strikes. McLeod and Hardy at the top of the lineup cooled off at the same time, but others were able to pick them up.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, it's been a total offensive surge here. Somebody else picking up a great pitch down at the bottom of the zone from Alvarez. I think a little changeup. Great pitch right there with great late movement from Alvarez.
Alvarez just 22 years old. He's out of Venezuela. And here's J.J. Hardy. And it's on the outside corner for a strike and 0-1. J.J. 0 for his last 13 and has gone 56 at-bats without a home run. He, like several of the Oriole hitters, tends to get his home runs in bunches.
Yeah, like Mark Reynolds, who hits 9 in a week.
And a bouncer towards the middle. The second baseman Johnson is there. He'll play the hop. And he gets it to first, and 2 quick outs recorded by Alvarez.
And here's a look at the Blue Jays defense in game 1. The doubleheader goes in left field. Rasmussen center, Davis over in right field. Lowry and Lean on the corners. Echeverria and Johnson up the middle, and Mathis behind the plate.
Here's Chris Davis playing in right field again. Chris has a 2-game hitting streak working, each game a multi-hit game. So 2 down, the bases empty, no score in the first. And Alvarez deals outside. And there's the shift employed against Chris Davis. If he wanted to, he could bunt it to third base and reach easily.
That's about as over dramatic of a shift we've seen on Davis. Lowry way out there in right field, almost behind Lind at first base. Really filling up that hole. Take a look at Chris Davis at home this year. .536 slugging with 17 home runs. Certainly has power, but loves hitting here at Camden Yards.
Late on that swing, and 1-2. Yeah, the shift that John Farrell has on, Echeverria, the shortstop, has stayed at shortstop. And there's Brett Lowry, the third baseman, playing where the second baseman would play because Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, is way out. And a swing and a miss. So Davis down on strikes in a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. Couple of Ks in the first. We'll head to the second. Steve Johnson and the O's, no score. Double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Well, the fans settling in. Game 1 of this doubleheader out there in the center field bar above the batter's eye. One of the popular spots here at Camden Yards. As Steve Johnson goes back to work. He walked the first 2 batters in the first, but then got out of it.
Yeah, got that pitch count up quick. 24 pitches in the first inning, which Buck Showalter and Rick Adair, of course, would like Steve Johnson to go as deep as possible in this first game to save that bullpen.
The Orioles have 10 relievers listed today, while the Blue Jays have 13 in their bullpen for this doubleheader. Kelly Johnson leads off, and he'll take it low. Johnson, Echeverria, and Mathis for Toronto in the second inning, and there's no room at the end. The bullpens. Not enough seats on the bench for all the relievers out there. There's a strike. 1-1 on Johnson. Steve Johnson, in the major league innings he has pitched, Mike, has averaged just about 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. And again, when you look at his stuff, and this is why he is a pitcher. He's in fact a pitcher, not a thrower. It doesn't matter what the velocity is, it's where you put it. And it's how you mix them up and throw the breaking ball and throw the slider, as you said, mix in the changeup, keep them off balance. He does that as well as anybody on this team.
Well, he really does. And I think, obviously, Steve Johnson has the stuff to get away with that, but Matt Wieters put in the right fingers down to keep the hitters off balance and make every one of his pitches more useful.
2-2 to Kelly Johnson, is grounded foul wide of first. Buck Showalter's club, 6-3 road trip, and they have gone 14-7 so far in the month of September. You see Randy Wolf there. Apparently Randy's got a little elbow soreness, and Buck Showalter told the reporters before the game, as Johnson deals and Johnson fouls it back, that there possibly could be an injection into the elbow to calm it down. He was to see Dr. Wilkins today. There's Randy on the bench.
Yeah, he said he felt a little soreness after that last inning in Boston.
The 2-2 is grounded foul. A good at bat here for Kelly Johnson, prolonging it. Kelly Johnson's hitting 3 straight, 4 out of 12. And here comes the 8th pitch in this at bat. And it's bounced to first. Reynolds is there. He'll go to the bag unassisted. 1 down in the Toronto second. The Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant of the game is Nelson Streithoff of Timonium. Nelson won $500 for being selected, and Nelson will also win $100 more for each strikeout the Orioles record during the game. For all the latest information on new games, current promotions, and second chance contests, just visit mdlottery.com today. Echeverria takes outside. He is certainly taking advantage of his playing time. High fly ball to left. McLeod shading his eyes from the sun. Now he picks it up. And he's got it for the out and 2 men down. And a long fly ball in this tough sky here today, 2 down. Well, your O's are in the hunt for the postseason, and now is the time to buckle up and back your birds. You can place a deposit now on a 2013 full or partial season plan, including a convenient 13-game plan. And you'll be guaranteed an opportunity to buy 2012 American League Championship Series or World Series tickets before the general public. For all the details, 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/postseason. And strike one taken by Jeff Mathis, the catcher. Curveball is high, 1-1.
Mathis getting the call to do the catching in the first game here. J.P. Arancibia, who probably catch the second game, spent some time on the disabled list, just coming back as well.
Swings through it, 1-2. 2 strikes on a batter, and here's what he likes to go to.
Yeah, well, fastball is his pitch. You see the success there 67% of the time, and that low 122 average, but he does mix in all of his pitches, and that's why he has so much success. He is not afraid to throw any one of them at any time, and if he can pop that fastball in the top of the zone or get a call in the outer part of the plate, he's going to throw it.
And that would ruin it on the hands of Jeff Mathis, who was able to foul it off. Steve, as a starter, 2-0 with an ERA of 3.0. And as a reliever, 1-0 with an ERA of 1.10.
Great numbers in whatever role they really put him in. He's impressed Rick Adair and Buck Showalter.
Here's the 2-2 to Mathis, and he got him. Swung on and missed, so Mathis down on strikes. Number 2 for Steve Johnson, and 3 up, 3 down go the Jays. Mid-second at Camden Yards, no score. Of this twilight doubleheader as the Orioles and Blue Jays have the makeup game. And down the stretch, Major League Baseball news and notes. Athletics, a game back of the Orioles for the #1 wild card spot, have dropped 5 of 7. They begin a 4-game series in Texas tonight. Yankees are 1 game up on the Orioles for the AL East lead. Andy Pettitte will pitch tonight for the Yankees against Minnesota in Minnesota. And the White Sox have lost 5 straight. They're 1 game up on Detroit. Their next opponent, the Cleveland Indians. Here is Adam Jones leading off in the second against Henderson Alvarez. And the fastball is high, 1-0.
You see that great life that Alvarez has on that fastball of his. And he works generally in the low to mid 90s, but he can get it up there about 97 at times when he wants to.
Line drive, there's a base hit to left field. He broke his bat, but Adam Jones is on with a leadoff single. So the Orioles get their first base runner after going 3 up and 3 down in the first inning. What a year he's had. He now has base hits, Mike, in 120 of 153 games on the year.
Well, certainly been the team leader for the Orioles all year, and just from the first day in spring training, really kind of set a tempo and has not let up one bit.
Here's Matt Wieters. Alvarez to the stretch for the first time today. And down and away, and it's 1-0. Well, Matt Wieters is certainly a player whose production increases as the year goes on. You see his career average in September, 307, higher than any month, and a slugging percentage as well, 520, higher than in any month. Yeah, so certainly a strong finisher.
He is, and this September no different, 333.
Slice foul the other way, that'll be back in the crowd.
Pretty amazing numbers, too, for Matt Wieters. Just the fact that he catches just about every day. And, you know, to have that endurance and that stamina to take it into the last month of the season is pretty impressive. Of course, this year there's a lot of different adrenaline going for him.
Jones at first, 1-1 the count on Wieters. And a slow roller towards second. Kelly Johnson has 1 play. Underhand toss to get Wieters and 1 down. That moves Adam Jones to second base and into scoring position. College basketball returns to the DMV as Coach John Thompson III leads your Georgetown Hoyas against some of the nation's best at Verizon Center. Be part of the tradition that is Georgetown basketball by securing your tickets today For more information, visit wearegeorgetown.com or call 202-687-4692. That's 202-687-HOYA. Together, we are Georgetown. Here's Jim Thome, and he takes outside 1-0. Jim Thome has a 4-game hitting streak going. The first 2 before the disabled list, and 2 in a row since coming off.
Yeah,
it's a heck of a streak.
There is a couple huge hits up there at Fenway Park as well over the weekend.
He hasn't not gotten a hit since July.
That's a good way to look at it.
4 for 14 in the 4-game hitting streak. He won the game on Saturday, nearly tied the game yesterday. Came off the bench with a double to send Mark Reynolds to third. There's Adam Jones at second in the scoreless game. 2-0 on Thome. And down and in, ball 3. Alvarez is a put-it-in-play pitcher. He has averaged 3.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, but he's only walked 2.5. So he is a guy that likes to pound the strike zone, encourage the hitters to put it in play, and uses defense.
Yeah, when he figures out how to actually have good command with his pitches, he's going to be something special because he really does have good stuff. Shows flashes of plus quality with all of his pitches.
Well, Thome took low on 3-0, so he's on. A 1-out walk puts 2 on for Mark Reynolds. John Farrell, manager of the Blue Jays. They had such high hopes for this year. A lot of injuries, including Jose Bautista. Their pitching staff has been ravaged by injuries. And as a result, Farrell's team ERA is 4.65. That is 12th out of the 14 teams. So the Orioles have something going here. First and second, only 1 down. Here's Mark Reynolds. Marcus hitting 4 straight games. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
They get aggressive cut on a fastball on the inside part of the plate, but Mark Reynolds has been crushing the high pitches here in September. August, look at that, way down to 111, but 294 in September, and he has been hot with home runs as well. Alvarez better keep that sinker down in the zone.
Johnson trying to keep Jones close at second. And it's inside, and 1-1 the count. Now, Mike, as this inning has gone on with the sun descending, the shadows have moved since the first inning. Alvarez now is in the shade. Then there's that stretch of sunshine, and Reynolds is half in the shade. Yeah. How does this affect the eyesight of the hitter?
Oh, it's tough. And these guys had to battle through it all weekend up in Fenway Park with the shadows, but now going from shade to sun and now back into shade, even harder to pick up the spin.
And Reynolds takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Now there you see Rasmus in center field. He is in bright sunshine, as is Rajai Davis in right field. But the left fielder, Anthony Gose, is in the shadows. The lights are on, but they won't take effect until probably the second game. Meantime, Reynolds is down on the count, 1-2. Orioles have a chance to score early here. 2 on and 1 out in the second. And Reynolds down on strikes. A huge out for Alvarez and 2 away.
Alvarez staying pretty aggressive with his fastball inside on the inside part of the plate. But this one he just takes a little bit off it. Take a look at the ball here. Shadow into the light. And then boom, back into the shade of the catcher's mitt. Takes a little off his fastball. Probably a little change up there.
Mathis out to the mound to talk to Henderson Alvarez. Alvarez last year made his major league debut on August the 10th. He's had 5 seasons in the minors. He signed when he was 16 years old out of his native Venezuela. He had 83 games of minor league experience before coming up. Ryan Flaherty now 2 on and 2 out. And it's over but low, 1-0. Ryan has been getting increased playing time as of late. He was 3 out of 6 on the road trip. Had a big day Saturday at Fenway. 1-0 is outside, ball 2. With Robert Andino cooling off at the plate, Buck Showalter has not hesitated the last few days to insert Ryan Flaherty into that starting lineup with a right-hander on the mound.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Buck has great awareness when it comes to his players, and he knew that Flaherty was going to be fired up to play in front of his hometown fans there. He grew up in Maine, so a lot of family and friends down there to see him in Boston, and he didn't disappoint one bit.
Well, he certainly has worked hard to stay sharp. When he came off the disabled list, Showalter started Flaherty in his first 2 games, and then he went back to the bench and had a tough time getting off the bench.
Right. But he is one of the guys that every day out there for early work, he takes his ground balls at every position, fly balls, always trying to stay as sharp as he possibly can.
And he lays off a pitch there designed to get him to chase, and the count 3-1. So he is likely to get a very good pitch here. Alvarez 9-13. It's his 30th start. Jones at second, Thome at first with 2 down, and no score here in the second inning of game 1. Lefties have hit .311 against Alvarez on the year with 14 home runs. 3-1 on Flaherty. And he takes it right there for a strike, 3-2.
And that was a real good 3-1 pitch. Two-seam fastball started off off the plate, actually inside, and came running back over that inner third at 95 miles an hour.
Runners will be off with the pitch. Jones from second, Thome from first. 3-2 with 2 men down. And he got him. Swung on and missed. Flaherty down on strikes. That ends the threat. A base hit, a walk, and 2 left. We're through 2 in game 1. No score. Brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America. From inside the warehouse, looking down on Conway Street, and the sun brightly shining overhead for game 1 of this twilight doubleheader. A lot of fans came out early for game 1. We expect the stands will fill up as we get closer to game 2, and Steve Johnson going to work. 40 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. 70% fastballs, 20% breaking pitches, and 10% off-speed pitches.
Yeah, much better job there in the second inning, though. That first inning just kind of settling the nerves down after a couple quick base on balls.
Ball 1 to Anthony Ghost, the number 9 batter, then Brett Lawrie and Colby Rasmus. Ghost in that number 9 spot. He's hitting 2 straight. And he looks over a strike, 1-1. Kirby on the Orioles bench. Looked like he was trying to help out with the camera. Goes out of California. He came up through the Philly system. Here's a 2-1, and there's strike 2 and 2. And Ghost, who was only drafted in 2008, was part of a package that the Phillies sent to Houston for Roy Oswalt. And as soon as the Astros got Ghost, the same day they traded him to Toronto. Strike 3 called. He paints the inside corner. Number 3 for Steve Johnson, and 1 away.
Yeah, great job by Steve Johnson. Only threw 1 changeup, challenge with the fastball, but all the fastballs, look at that, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Super pitch. Nice call by Matt Waiters. Didn't even move the glove.
Our Kia Pitch Tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To visit more and learn more, visit kia.com. There's a fly ball to right. Not that deep. Tough play. It's going to fall in. And a base hit run down by Flaherty. So Brett Lawrie going the other way just blooped it in there for a 1-out single. That's the first hit for the Jays. Johnson had retired 7 in a row. Johnson will go back to the stretch. Here's Colby Rasmus, who worked the walk his first at bat after falling behind. No balls and 2 strikes. You see the shadows. This is a tough time of day for the first baseman when they hold the bag, as Mark Reynolds is there with Lawrie on. As that throw comes from Steve Johnson, there's that one spot where the sun shines through and is on the eyes of the first baseman. Lawrie has 13 steals on the year. And this one misses outside, 1-0. The Blue Jays, in large part because of Rajay Davis, are 5th in the American League in steals. John Farrell's club has stolen 121. So he is not afraid to put his runners in motion.
No, they definitely have some great speed. Lowry can steal. Rasmus is fast. Like Ghost, who just struck out. Great speed.
And Johnson misses high, 2-0.
They have power as well. They have guys that hit home runs. Batista, of course, big power hitter for the Blue Jays, been out now with the wrist injury. But Encarnacion with 40, 22 from Rasmus.
Ball 3 outside. He's trying to live on that corner, and he's just missing off the plate. 3-0 on Colby Rasmus, who is a struggling hitter. There's a strike right in there, 3-1.
Yeah, you don't want to keep taking your chances with putting guys on base to face Encarnacion. Probably the most dangerous hitter in the Blue Jays lineup.
3-1 on Rasmus, 1 on, 1 down, no score. 3rd inning at Camden Yards. Swing and a miss. How about that? Fastball count, hitter's count comes in off speed.
That's why he's so effective, and that's why he has success with his fastball as well, because he can throw any pitch at any time, and no matter what count. Great hitter's count. Gets him on a beautiful changeup, 78 miles an hour.
3-2 the count. Lawrie doesn't go, and it's outside, ball 4. So give Rasmus credit for a couple of patient at-bats. He has drawn 2 walks, so 2 on with 1 down in the 3rd. Tickets are still available for tomorrow night's game, the 7:05 game between the O's and Jays. And tomorrow is also the final Ollie's Bargain Night presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All the upper reserve seats tomorrow, just $9 in advance. So come on out and experience the thrill of the playoff push, an affordable night out at Oriole Park. 888-848-BIRD or online at Orioles.com. And look out. There goes the bat into the stands over the photographer's well on the third base side as Encarnacion swung through it.
Quite a bat toss.
Encarnacion gets a new bat from the Bat Boys, so the fan who caught that bat will get a souvenir. Usually they go get those game bats back.
Yeah, I know.
Laurie and Rasmus on with one down, and Johnson turns and looks back to second base. Encarnacion has one of the 3 home runs that Steve Johnson has allowed since coming up. Swinging a foul back, and it's 0-2.
Those are some nice pitches right there from Steve Johnson. A little movement on the end, a little cut fastball. Just getting it off the barrel of the bat of Encarnacion. Of course, the first one, that swing and the miss with a bat going up in the stands. But nice late movement on Steve Johnson fastball.
He's ahead of Encarnacion, 0-2. And high, and Encarnacion lays off. Johnson knows that Encarnacion is a patient hitter. He has walked 80 times on the year. And the 1-2 is a little low, 2-2.
Yeah, without Batista in that lineup, he's the guy that's, teams don't want him to beat you. So they put him on base, or certainly be a lot more careful pitching to him.
And the 2-2, and he just got a piece. Well, what's impressive about Encarnacion, we mentioned the 40 home runs. That's third most in the league. But he has only struck out 90 times while walking 80. So for what you would perceive to be a big swinger, a full swinger, he makes a lot of contact.
Yes, he does.
2-2, 2 on and 1 down. And a bouncer foul down outside of third. Encarnacion, one of those hitters that took a little bit longer to mature. He's now 29 years old, and it's his 8th season. Last year he hit 17 home runs. This year he's exploded for 40. 2-2 the count. And a high pop foul back out of play. And this, unfortunately, is another aspect of the tremendous stuff that Steve Johnson has. Hitters do have the ability and seem to be able to prolong at-bats. And that just adds to the pitch count. This will be the 8th pitch in this at-bat. Slow curve, swing and a miss, and there goes the bat. Encarnacion badly fooled, and he throws the bat at the ball and strikes out 2 men down. And again, Mike, there's that hitter's ego. He's looking for the fastball, and look what he got.
Yeah, well, he gets a nice breaking ball, slow hook on the outside corner. He just wants to try to make contact. He's fooled so bad. He's not giving up. He's just trying to throw that bat out there to hit the ball. That's how fooled he was.
So 2 down, a huge out for Steve Johnson, his 4th strikeout. And Adam Lynn will bat. Slow curve, swing and a miss. As Johnson is already now in the 60s in his pitch count. He's at 61. Making his 3rd big league start out of St. Paul's. And again, he turns and looks Laurie back. Johnson has walked 3. He has struck out 4, and he's allowed 1 hit. And a slow roller towards first. Johnson over quickly. It stays fair. He flips to Reynolds for the out, and the side is retired. Outstanding hustle by Steve Johnson to get to that before it went foul. Mid-third, no score. cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And on a sunny day, that's a good idea to enjoy a Miller as the Orioles and Blue Jays play game one in this doubleheader, each team with a base hit. Orioles have stranded 2, Toronto has stranded 4. And here's Manny Machado to lead off. McLeod and Hardy will follow against Alvarez. Hitters have batted .333 against Alvarez in third innings. So this is the inning that has struggled for Alvarez on the year. Machado, first ball swinging, fouls it off. Well, that shadow continues to move. In another 15 minutes or so, the pitcher's mound will be also in the shade. As Manny looks it over, down and in, 1-1.
Well, the Orioles hitters should be all right with the shadows here in their home park. This is what time they take batting practice typically.
Machado, high fly ball right center, not deep. Davis coming in, battling the sun, and he's got it for the out, 1 down. Nicely done. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. The Orioles are 5-0 against the Blue Jays here at Camden Yards this season. As they have dominated the Jays, the Blue Jays have never gone winless at Camden Yards over a full season. The Orioles would have to win 4 in a row here for that to occur for the first time. Here's Nate McLeod, 0 for 1. And he'll take a strike. McLeod had 11 hits in the 9 games on the road trip, but he is just 1 for his last 16. And the one part of his game that he has not utilized a lot as of yet is the bunt, because he is a very good bunter. And they have shifted on him. Here's the 1-1 bounce towards the hole. There's Laurie a long way. Echeverria has it. The throw not in time. That's an infield hit. And that time the shift hurt the Blue Jays. If they're playing normal defense, Echeverria gets that easy for the out.
It does, and it almost looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication as Lowry went over. Echeverria there just to back up. But Nate McLeod has great speed. He's heading out of the box, and he's sniffing that hit. Flying down the line, beats it easily. Great speed by Nate McLeod, and you're right. Bunt to utilize the speed, but infield hit as well.
So that snaps his 0 for 11. Here's J.J. Hardy. Fastball right there for a strike, 0-1. J.J. grounded out his first at bat. He's now 0 for his last 14. McLeod is a stolen base threat, although it is tough to steal on Henderson Alvarez. Here's the 0-1. It's a little low, 1-1. Give you an idea of how tough it is. Teams just don't run on him. He's in his 30th start on the year. There have been 2. That's it. 2 stolen base attempts on Alvarez. Both have made it. But teams don't even bother running on him because he is so quick to the plate. 1-1 on Hardy. 1 on and 1 out. No score. Bounce towards short, could be 2. Echeverria, Johnson, back to Lind, and the struggles continue for Hardy as the 6-4-3 ends the inning. An infield hit and none left. We're through 3 in game 1. Orioles and Blue Jays, no score. To win the close games, and the Orioles have excelled in close games on the year. You see the runs scored for the Orioles, 667. Opponents have still outscored the Orioles overall. However, the Orioles 87 wins in close games on the year, 27 of those in one-run games, and the Orioles have out-homered their opponents 194 to 172. The Orioles on the year, Mike, are 74-36 when they hit a home run. They have only 13 wins in games in which they haven't homered. So the long ball has certainly been a key component to their consistent winning on the year, now with 87 wins. And you saw Adam Jones, he leads the team in home runs, and Chris Davis in right field has 26. Here's Rajay Davis, takes ball one. Davis, then Kelly Johnson and Adeiny Echeverria. Ball two.
Johnson would certainly like to have a quicker inning. He's kind of labored through, thrown quite a few pitches to this point. It'd be an early exit if he can't get a couple quick innings here.
Yeah, he needs what Alvarez just had. Alvarez had a 9-pitch bottom of the third to get quickly back to the bench. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Davis popped up to short to end the first inning. Jays have had 4 base runners, 3 walks and a single. All 4 have been stranded. And the pitch is foul back. Here's Jason Hamill with Miguel Gonzalez. Here's the 2-2 to Davis. Swung on and missed. Wow. Another slow breaking ball by Johnson and one away.
Well, slow is right. 68 miles an hour here, and these Blue Jays hitters are having a tough time making contact with that pitch. Great location as well.
Strikeout number 5 for Steve Johnson. He has also retired the leadoff hitter now in 3 of the first 4 innings. There's Kelly Johnson, who's 0 for 1. And he'll take strike 1, 0-1. Johnson grounded out his first at bat. And a line drive to right field. There's a base hit for Kelly Johnson. He's on with a 1-out single. And we'd like to welcome all of you who are watching the Nationals beat the Brewers by a final of 12-2. Bonus coverage now here on MASN of game 1 of this doubleheader between the O's and the Blue Jays. Jim Hunter with Mike Bordick at Camden Yards, as the Orioles try to edge closer and closer to wrapping up a playoff spot in the American League. Adeiny Echeverria batting now, 1 on and 1 out. Fastball's high, 1-0. Because the Orioles at the moment are going with a 7-man rotation. 1-0. Johnson deals. And because Arrieta and Mattis are now in the bullpen, there is a backup in the bullpen for Steve Johnson. And Buck Showalter and Rick Adair have really looked at all the matchups and who might back up who. And today, Zach Britton is in the bullpen. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's a strike. Zach hasn't pitched since last weekend in Oakland. So if Johnson can't get deep in the game, especially today with a doubleheader, it's very likely you'll see Zach get into the game.
Yeah,
he's one of the 10 relievers listed today.
Yep. And it's a good mix, too, if Steve Johnson comes in, obviously righty, and Zach Britton, the lefty, just to give him a different look. And where Zach Britton has great stuff as well.
The Blue Jays are right-handed heavy lineup. There are 3 lefties in this lineup. The only available hitter on the bench who could bat left-handed is the veteran Omar Vizquel, who's a switch hitter. And despite all the call-ups, there's only a 6-man bench. There's Zach in the bullpen, one of the 10 relievers listed for this game. 2-2 on Echeverria, 1 on and 1 out. Slow curveball, line drive, base hit left field. That ball hung and he didn't miss it. McLouth is over, bobbles. Johnson thinking about going to third and then puts on the brakes. So that curveball designed to break under the swing did not. It hung up. And Echeverria with a base hit, so 2 on and 1 out.
Nice job of Nate McLouth actually staying with that ball after the bobble. Quickly got on it to keep Johnson at second base.
That'll bring up Jeff Mathis, who struck out his first at-bat. Mathis hitting just .218 on the year, and for a third time in this game, the Jays get 2 men on. And Mathis looks over ball 1. Johnson has now allowed 6 base runners through 3 1/3. And the off-speed pitch is low, 2-0. And Wieters now out to the mound to talk with Steve Johnson. It has to be somewhat difficult for a pitcher who has been accustomed to being in a starting role to then be taken out of that role, not knowing exactly when you might pitch again, and then being reinserted into the rotation to make a start. It's his first start since August the 25th. And he had made 5 relief appearances in that time, and he misses inside, ball 3.
Didn't look like that bad of a pitch right there, but yeah, I mean, you have to commend him to be able to do that. I mean, my gosh, you have to be strong mentally and, of course, keep yourself prepared for situations like this.
Strike on the outside corner, 3-1, as Mathis took all the way. Johnson at second, Echeverria at first with 1 down. And cued foul into the Orioles dugout. So Johnson back in the count at 3-2. Mathis, the former Angel backup catcher, getting a lot of playing time in Toronto. And a turn and look as Johnson thought the runners might be off. John Farrell has not put the runners in motion yet on a 3-2 pitch in this game.
Well, we've seen that little inside move from Steve Johnson a few times already in this ball game, just to keep him shortened up, thinking that he possibly will use that.
Popped up, Machado backing out in the outfield grass. Infield fly rule called. Manny's got it for the out. And a huge comeback there for Johnson. After falling behind 3-0, he gets Mathis for the second out. Tickets are still available for the final regular season series of the year. It all begins on Friday when the Orioles host the Red Sox, and Friday is also this year's last fireworks night. So don't miss your last chance this season to watch the spectacular fireworks display. You can get your tickets in advance and save by calling 888-848-BIRD or just go online at Orioles.com. Here's Anthony Ghost, the number 9 batter. And it's a little low, ball 1. Ghost was called out on strikes his first at bat. Runners lead from first and second. And it's low again, ball 2.
Take a look at Steve Johnson, the batting average allowed. Very, very good under pressure with runners in scoring position. Not even a number there. 0 for 13. Runners on, 107. And of course the base is empty, 188. So great numbers all around for Steve Johnson. He's been successful out of the bullpen and as a starter for the Orioles. And has really bared down in this ball game because he's been in some tough situations here in the early going with runners all over the place, able to make some big pitches.
Foul back, a little late on the swing, 2-1. Of course, it doesn't always work out because, after all, they are big league hitters. But when you look at the lineup and you see the number 8 batter batting .218 and number 9 batter batting .220 as a pitcher, you got to be thinking, I got to get this guy. No, don't let this guy beat you. There's a line drive to center field. Jones in on it, makes the catch. It hung up for him. That ball was ripped And it hangs up for Adam Jones. So 2 hits but 2 left. We'll enter the bottom of the 4th. No score. Clinch a playoff spot, so we thought we'd have some fun and look at some potential themes as we go along. Now, the Orioles have 10 games left, including this game, and we thought, well, if they go 5-5, they'll finish 92-70. Of course, they hope to finish better than that. And, Mike, here's what the other teams would have to do to equal the 92 wins. Oakland would have to go 6-4, the Angels 8-1, Tampa 9-0, and Detroit 10-0. And even by going 10-0, the Tigers can only win 90.
I know. Well, they've put themselves in a great position, you know. So, and they want to win out. I mean, that's obviously the Orioles' goal because they want to be in charge of their own destiny and not have to depend on other teams. But certainly in a great spot, and other teams have to do a lot of things right to actually overtake the Orioles.
Of course, the Birds still would prefer to win the AL East and go into the divisional round instead of the one-game showdown in the wild card game. But clinching the playoff spot is the first order of business. Davis swings through it on the 2-0 and 2-1.
Boy, Alvarez has been a 2-pitch pitcher in this ball game. Great live fastball. We've seen that movement, but also the changeup, and that's what's keeping the hitters off the ball. It's Bruce Walton, the Blue Jays pitching coach.
The Orioles going 6-3 on that road trip and 14-7 in September. That's what's allowed them to set up in these final 10 games where the other teams really have to go on tears. Now, of course, the other teams are looking at it from a different perspective, saying, well, Jim and Mike are being generous giving the Orioles 5 wins. What if they go 3-7? Yeah. Then it's a little easier for us.
Right, but we're looking at that scenario for the Orioles, you know.
We're being fair, 500.
Exactly. Yeah, 500.
We actually expect them to play better than that because they have been all year. You know, by now, it's certainly a track record. 3-1 on Davis, leading off in the 4th in this scoreless game. And an inside corner call, strike 3-2. And once again, the unusual shift. Brett Laurie, the third baseman, not only has gone over by second base, he's out in right field. So Johnson is at his regular second base position, and there's Laurie way out there in right.
Well, Laurie plays third base like a roving outfielder anyway. He's all over the place, and that's why they move him out there so far. He can cover so much ground. They moved Davis back to almost near the warning track, and he just has a lot of range for a third baseman, and now a roving infielder / outfielder.
A full count on Davis. Outside, ball 4. I'll tell you what, Chad Fairchild has had a very consistent day. He's not giving the pitch off the plate. He's making you throw a strike. And you know what? That's good. You know, pitchers adjust, but don't give you anything. If it's not a strike, don't call it a strike.
Yeah, and it's good to see Chris Davis laying on that off that pitch, because another nice changeup from Alvarez with great late movement, much like his fastball. Tough pitch to lay off, but he recognizes it and does.
That'll bring up Adam Jones, who singled his first at bat. And it's down and away, 1-0. Well, Adam Jones, we mentioned how consistent he's been. He leads the Orioles with 45 multi-hit games. And he has base hits now in 120 of the 153 games played on the year. 78% of the games he's had a base hit. And a strike at the knees, 1-1.
Well, he's playing every day. He's producing. He wants to be in pressure situations. He's taken on that role, and he hasn't let anybody down. What a great leader he's been for the Orioles this year.
Ball and a strike on him. Davis at first with nobody out. High fly, left field, back it goes, and that ball is gone. He hit it to the walkway. A 2-run shot, and the Birds are on top. Number 32 for Adam Jones. And he scores his 100th run of the year on the back end. 2-0 O's.
And how many times has Adam Jones hit a ball, a home run that either puts the club ahead or win a ball game? Look at this pitch. Comes back over the middle, pretty much center cut. And that is a bomb.
Adam knew it was gone. He dropped the bat and just went into his trot. 422 feet. It landed on the walkway between the lower box seats in left and the seats behind that walkway. Right out there by section 83. Here's a strike taken by Matt Wieters, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just outstanding power displayed by Adam Jones.
Alvarez really hasn't made many mistakes in this ball game, but the one he has, Adam Jones made him pay.
There's a ground ball to first. It hugs the ground, played by Lind. Wieters retired for the first out. So the Orioles get that long ball. It has been so important for the Orioles on the year, getting those home runs. And there's nothing wrong for being a play for the big inning team if you have hitters that enable you to get the big inning.
Sure.
And the Orioles certainly have that up and down the lineup because of the balance.
Well, great at bat by Chris Davis to bring Adam Jones up in that situation. And, you know, I think the Orioles offense has really matured. They haven't completely relied on that long ball. We've seen them manufacture runs here recently and able to handle the bat pretty well. But to actually have that home run ball, you know, in your bag of tricks, and they've done it so consistently this year. Certainly huge for their offense and their team's success.
So Jones now with 81 RBIs, trailing Matt Wieters by 1 for the team lead. As Tomei takes inside. 2-1 on Jim. See, the breeze is blowing out slightly that way.
I don't think that home run was wind aided.
No. In fact, it cut through the wind.
Yeah.
Alvarez a bit displeased with himself, so he steps off the rubber to take a breath. He's behind Jim Tomei, 3-1. Hard hit ball right to first. Loved by Adam Lind. He'll get Tomei and 2 men down. So he got a pitch to handle on 3-1. He hits it right to Adam Lind. Alvarez coming off a loss last Wednesday in New York. It's interesting the way the Blue Jays week has gone. They had a doubleheader in New York last Wednesday. Alvarez pitched the first game. Romero pitched the second game. Exactly what they're doing here today in this doubleheader in their next turns. Mark Reynolds takes high, 1-0. Since August the 1st, though, Alvarez has won just twice. He is 2-6 in his last 9 starts, going back to the beginning of August. as Reynolds swings through it, 1-1. Mark's got a 4-game hitting streak going. 15 home runs and 44 ribbies since the All-Star break. Outside corner call strike. Reynolds thought it was too far outside.
Yeah, that one didn't look good. Definitely off the plate there. Mark Reynolds a little frustrated that he missed that first fastball, and then to get that call.
And Alvarez smartly goes right out there again.
Sure, why not try it out? Push it a little bit further out. You might induce a swing or even get lucky and get a call.
Jim Thome always has that bat nearby. And Reynolds down on strikes, and that'll end the inning. As Reynolds down on strikes for a second time. But Adam Jones, his 32nd, a monster shot to left field. And the Orioles have grabbed a 2-0 lead through 4. Verizon 4G LTE, more 4G LTE coverage than all other carriers combined. On this Monday afternoon, there's Jim Palmer's sculpture in the Legends Park area in center field. On Saturday, there will be 6 as Brooksy's statue is unveiled. And then Legends Park will be complete. Here is Steve Johnson now. 85 pitches through 4 innings, facing the top of the lineup, and he gets ahead of Brett Lawrie, 0-1. Lawrie has been on base twice. He has walked, he has singled. And a rip at that one, he fouls it back. Steve has allowed 3 hits, all singles. He has walked 3, and he has struck out 5 batters. He has at least 1 K in each inning. Line to right field, chasing it down is Davis, and he glides to it and has it for the out. Chris Davis taking lessons from Adam Jones. He glided to that ball, and Adam over to congratulate him.
Yeah, tough play right there, too. We have sun field.
He's looking at the angle, looking at the sun.
It's good to see him communicating about it, though, even if he is giving him a hard time.
That is great. They're having fun. They're winning. They're in a race. Here's Colby Rasmus. And the breaking ball down and in.
Chris Davis was probably wondering, why the heck are you over here so close? Because I'm backing you up, just in case.
Chris has played very well in right field. This ball's hit the center field. It's Adams' turn. And he's got it for the second out. So 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning. Well, the Orioles have announced the series of rallies to generate excitement for the push for the postseason. You can join Orioles players and the Buckle Up Street team as they travel throughout Baltimore and the surrounding areas for the rest of the month. And the Buckle Up rallies, you'll get some game ticket giveaways, theme gear, all Buckle Up related, and other personal items. Now, the next 2 rallies tomorrow at Ollie's Bargain Outlet in Pasadena as Encarnacion. And Miguel Gonzalez will be the special guest. There is Miguel.
Smiling.
And then on Wednesday, McCormick World of Flavors from noon to 1 on Light Street here in Baltimore. So Ollie's Bargain Outlet tomorrow. And then McCormick World of Flavors on Light Street in Baltimore on Wednesday. Now the complete list is online, Orioles.com/buckleup. On Friday night in Cockeysville, they had a big rally at the Silver Spring Mining Company, and it was standing room only. You couldn't get in.
Wow, nice.
And the Oriole Bird was there, and a lot of fans having fun, dressed in their orange. 3-1 on Encarnacion, and a swing and a miss, 3-2. Well, they're buckling up. Look, the youngster's got his eye black on. It was a day game. Got a guard from the sun. 3-2, 2 men down. Struck him out, a called strike 3. And the fans behind Steve Johnson, a 3-up, 3-down inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 O's. Scoreless innings for Steve, making the start today, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead here in the 5th. And hi, everybody. Jim Hunter and Mike Bordick. Exciting day here at Camden Yards. Doubleheader against the Jays. Games the Orioles need to win, and to get the early lead behind a rookie who's pitching a great game for you, that's the way to go about doing it.
Sure is. Steve Johnson got in some trouble early on in this game, was able to make some pitches like he has done time and time again since his call up here for the Orioles, but a great outing. Pitch count just got a little bit elevated because he had to work through some tough innings, but a nice job there to keep his ball team in the game, and Adam Jones once again coming up with a huge hit for the O's.
Well, you learn about pitchers, how they pitch through adversity. Steve got into 3 jams in this game, didn't bother him a bit, and he pitched out of all 3.
Well, I mean, it says so much about him, and that's what he's done this year. We saw the numbers early on with runners in scoring position. He hasn't even given up a run, so he's used to those situations. He doesn't like to be in those situations, but he has enough of an arsenal to get himself out of jams, and once again, he did it today.
So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. And here is Ryan Flaherty leading off, takes ball 1. Line drive left center field. He got a lot of it. Rasmus back. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Carries into the bullpen. Ryan Flaherty gets into 1, and Luis Ayala caught it in his hat. What a play on both ends. Yeah, and a 3-0 Oriole lead.
What a great swing by Ryan Flaherty right there. All year long he's worked on that swing with hitting coach Jim Presley. Pays off. He drove that ball out into the Orioles bullpen. Nice play by Ayala as well.
So a 3-0 Oriole lead as Flaherty hits number 5.
Take a look at that pitch. Tough pitch, too. Down and away. He stays on it. See the great swing and a great play.
And Luis Ayala, the leader of the bullpen corps.
He definitely keeps him relaxed down there.
Big hopper to third, played by Laurie. We have one down. Well, Machado's out. He's 0 for 2 and 1 away here in the Oriole 5th. So Ryan Flaherty, who was 3 out of 6 on the road trip, 1 out of 2 today. He now has 5 home runs and 14 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, going into that Red Sox series, the only extra base hits he had were home runs, and he came up with a triple and a double. Good to see him get back on the home run track again.
Here's Nate McLouth, reached on an infield hit his last at bat. 1 out of 2. And a foul straight down at the plate. Troy Patton is now getting loose in the bullpen. You see Dylan Bundy behind him. Outstanding job by Steve Johnson today. Strike 3 called. And McLouth just turns and walks away, and 2 men down on strikeout number 6 for Alvarez. The Mid-Atlantic Sports Report is back tomorrow, 5 until 6:30. Rob Long, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson, and Phil Wood will have all your Orioles news as the Birds continue the push towards the postseason. That's tomorrow at 5, right here on MASN. Fans in Legends Park walking by Earl Weaver's sculpture. Strike 1 to J.J. Hardy. And a base hit to right field for Hardy. That's how you snap an 0 for 15. You go at the pitch and hit it with authority.
Well, it sure is. What a great sign right there. Not trying to do too much with this pitch. It's a fastball in the outer third of the plate. Stays on it. Just hammers it to right field. Great swing by J.J. Hardy. Always great head position. Keeps that bat head through the zone. Nice long time.
Chris Davis gets another at bat, his 3rd in the first 5 innings. Line drive left center field, and a diving try by Ghost, but he can't get it. Heading to third is Hardy, and Davis towards second base, now in a rundown, and Davis is going to be tagged out. Davis had stopped and for some reason thought he could get into second base, and that's how the inning ends. But Ryan Flaherty gets into one. He hits it out to the Oriole bullpen. Ayala made the grab, and the Birds have a 3-0 lead.
job for the Orioles in the spot start. Spot fastball away right there. Stayed really good down in the zone with the heater, but then that nice slow breaking ball that he had, producing some really crazy swings. Davis and Encarnacion throwing his bat out on the field, but Steve Johnson, good job. 5 innings, just 3 hits, 3 walks there, kind of jacked that pitch count up to 96, but 6 punch outs. Fought through some tough jams. Pretty good start by Steve Johnson. Good smile right there. Everybody in that locked dugout smiling. Troy Patton now on in relief. Has done a great job for the Orioles, but spent some time on the disabled list. Just came back in that Boston series and pitched 2/3 of an inning. Did a super job, induced a couple ground balls. Lefties 211 off him. Righties just 231. And he can give you matchup against lefties, or he can give you some innings as well. So Troy Patton, very versatile part of that Orioles bullpen. It's good to have him back.
Adam Lind will lead off. Orioles now with a 3-0 lead. And down and away, and it's 2-0. Patton has 19 consecutive scoreless appearances. He's been in 1 game since coming back. There's a strike, 2-1. Steve Johnson with Miguel Gonzalez. Talking pitching. How he navigated his way through the 5 innings. Slow curveball, line drive, and a base hit right center field. He broke his bat, but he reaches. So Adam Lind is on with a leadoff single with the Jays down by 3. Our PNC minor league report is brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Clay Schrader had himself a good year. Started at Frederick, ended up at Bowie, 2-1 overall, an ERA of 1.86 with 5 saves. And he had 51 walks to 68 strikeouts in his 58 innings, 42 games overall. And he is on the roster, part of the Orioles contingent in the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, good stuff right there. Nice year by Schrader. Got tested up in Double-A, did a good job, and now gets the opportunity to go out there and prove himself in the Fall League and learn a little bit more, and maybe an opportunity even in spring training next year to show what he has.
Rajai Davis took strike 1 and then jumps out of the way of that one. Schrader just 22 years old, so he certainly has a future. Orioles drafted him out of San Jacinto Junior College in Texas, which is a national junior college powerhouse. So you have to be good to get drafted. You have to be good to pitch there. 1-1 is hit to short, should be 2. Hardy, Flaherty, back to Reynolds, there's 2.
That's a textbook double play right there. Nice job by Troy Patton inducing this ground ball. Hit it to the right guy. J.J. Hardy as solid as ever. Ryan Flaherty takes his time, makes a nice clean turn. Mark Reynolds finishing it up on the end.
The double play ball erases the base runner. 2 men down, and Kelly Johnson now. Johnson has a single in 2 trips. A little bit low, 2-0. Patton got in the game yesterday at Fenway, his first since coming off the DL. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit. This is low ball 3. There's a strike taken all the way. There are 2 right-handed batters behind Johnson. We'll see if Buck Showalter sticks with Patton if Johnson reaches. Line drive left center field. Adam Jones on the run, and he'll get there, and he has it for the out. Well, leadoff hit, but none left. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th at Camden Yards. The Earl would love it. The Birds have a 3-0 lead. In HD approximately 7 o'clock or 20 minutes or so after this game ends. Weigh-in Chen will be on the mound against Ricky Romero. You can stay tuned for O's Extra between games, all presented by PNC, and then game coverage following O's Extra for Game 2 of the doubleheader, and a couple of left-handers on the mound in Game 2.
Yeah, it should be a pretty interesting matchup. Ricky Romero has lost 13 consecutive starts in a row. Weigh-in Chen kind of fallen into a little slump as well, 0-2 in his last 5 outings. So both of them trying to get back on track. Of course, Weigh-in Chen pitching for a little bit more here for the Orioles.
Manny Machado and L.J. Hose on the Orioles bench. Now here's Adam Jones. And he takes a strike. Adam, a perfect day. His 2-run home run, his last at-bat, gave the Orioles the lead. He also has a single, so his 46th multi-hit game on the year. Liner foul, look out. No balls and 2 strikes on Adam Jones. 6 home runs this month, most in any month since May. Jim Presley felt that once he got to home run number 26 to set the new career high, that he would take off, and that certainly has proven to be the case, as now he's up to 32 and adding to it with each one. And a good eye, and he takes low. Adam Jones fans in the Legends Park area. The t-shirt and jersey I'm beginning to see more and more of is number 13 for Machado. There's a base hit up the middle. Even on a 1-2 pitch, he got a good swing. Adam Jones is 3 for 3. So a leadoff single in the 6th. Say, is your name Brooks? Well, we know many fans in Birdland have a first or middle name of Brooks, named after Mr. Oriole himself. So if you do, you could win 2 tickets to Saturday's game, the Brooks Robinson Orioles Legends Celebration game, as well as special access to the sculpture unveiling by entering the Is Your Name Brooks sweepstakes. Just go online, Orioles.com/Brooks. 5 lucky winners will be chosen to represent all of the Brookses throughout Birdland. And the contest will end tomorrow at midnight. So get online, Orioles.com/Brooks. Matt Wieters, line drive off the glove of Lynn down the right field line. There's a base hit. Adam Jones hitting the third. He will be held by DeMarlo Hale, and Wieters pulls into second base. Rajay Davis got to that ball quickly with nobody down. DeMarlo Hale played it safe.
Yeah, great job, Matt Wieters. Orioles offense certainly starting to get to Alvarez, starting to drive balls. Matt Wieters thinks Glenn makes a play there just off his glove, gets down in the corner. You see DeMarlo Hale holding up Jones, looking in his glove, does not have it. Adam Jones, long striding. All he's thinking about is scoring, but DeMarlo Hale holding him up with no outs.
First base is open and a right-hander on deck, so Jim Thome will be walked intentionally. This will be the third walk allowed by Henderson Alvarez. There is no activity behind Alvarez, even though John Farrell has 13 relievers out there. There's ball 2. So Thome will walk here, and that will load the bases. And Mike, it's kind of amazing how well the Orioles have done all year and how consistent they've been getting runs in. When you look at the numbers and see how few sacrifice flies the Orioles have on the year. Now, here are the numbers. The Orioles have just 29 sac flies for the season, fewest in the American League. Only the Cubs have fewer at 24. They've got 17 straight games without a sac fly, the only team in the majors without one in that time span. Only 2 sac flies in 21 games in September, and they both came in the same game. It was September 4th in Toronto. 1997, the Orioles had 69 sac flies last time they were in the playoffs. It's amazing. It would seem, hey, just go up there, hit a fly ball, get an RBI, but they just don't play that way.
I know. It really is amazing when you consider how many home runs they hit. I mean, how can they not just miss-hit a ball, get a sac fly out of it? But they have had a great approach with runners in scoring position since the All-Star break. Have been red hot. Just the sacrifice fly hasn't been a big part of that yet. It's certainly an opportunity here to get one. Mark Reynolds can hit a deep fly ball.
Well, you saw Brett Cecil getting loose. He just did start warming. And Reynolds takes outside 1-0. Well, here are the RBI leaders and their sac flies on the year. Wieters at 82. Jones now has 81 RBIs with his home run, but still only 1 sac fly. Davis 3, Reynolds 2, and Hardy 2. It's amazing that Adam Jones, on the verge of retaking the team RBI lead, has won all year. And Reynolds looks it over outside.
Yeah, it really is, and they're smart hitters too. They know what they have to do if the infield's back. They think hard to the middle. A ground ball can score a run. We saw them execute some situational hitting in the Boston series that way, but just not able to get the sac fly.
Ground ball and foul down the line. Reynolds thought he had a base hit.
Look at the swing from Reynolds and how close it is as it just skips over. Brian O'Nora making the call.
So 2-1 the count. Orioles with a chance to get some big add-on runs, leading 3-0, bases loaded and nobody out. And the 2-1 is a Tapper foul. It bounced up and hit Mark before it rolled out in front of home plate. 2-2 the count on Reynolds. Mark has struck out in each of his 2 at-bats. Now, he certainly knows how to hit fly balls. He's got 22 home runs.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, and I think a lot of times, I mean, anytime an offensive player steps into the box, they certainly have a game plan. In the situation here, when you need a sacrifice fly to score a run off a sinker baller like Alvarez early in the count, you certainly want to set your sights higher in the zone. Get him up to belt high. Don't be chasing a sinker down. So, you know, you have to have a mindset when you step in especially scoring situations.
Big pitch here for Alvarez. Bases loaded, nobody out. The 2-2 to Reynolds. Bounce towards short. This could be two. The second one, Johnson back to first. There's a double play, but Jones does score, and a 4-0 lead. But Alvarez gets two huge outs on the double play ball off the bat of Reynolds. No RBI, 2 men down, and Wieters ends up at third base. So Alvarez does a real good job there minimizing the damage. Orioles had a huge chance there. They do get 1 run, but now 2 men down. So Alvarez will leave. Brett Cecil comes on with the Orioles leading at 4-0 in the 6th. Final homestand of the year. Steve Johnson outstanding and trying to win his 4th game. Adam Jones gave him a lead with a 2-run monster shot home runs. Yep, the fans love Adam Jones. Ryan Flaherty then hit one into the bullpen, caught by Luis Ayala's hat. And now Brett Cecil comes on here in the 6th inning.
To face Ryan Flaherty, 9 starts this year, 5.46. He's actually spent a lot of time in Double-A and Triple-A this year, but getting an opportunity once again in September to try to prove himself as he's out of options, potential free agent. Lefty's hitting .217, so maybe eventually down the road a lefty specialist. Former University of Maryland standout.
Back in his home state. One to Flaherty, broken back ground ball to second. Right there is the second baseman Johnson. He'll get Flaherty. The inning ends. So the Birds do get a run, but it could have been much worse for Toronto. Well, after the 7th inning of Game 1, the Orioles with a 4-0 lead. earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And it's all about teamwork with the Orioles. Adam Jones with a 2-run home run. Then got the rally going in the 6th with a leadoff single. Came in on the double play ground ball by Reynolds. So even though the Orioles were short-circuited for a bigger rally, they do get a key add-on run and now hand the baseball to Tommy Hunter.
Now Tommy Hunter really done a nice job for the Orioles since getting recalled. He had 20 starts this year. Of course, he was a starting pitcher at the beginning of the year. Spent some time down in the minor leagues figuring out some delivery issues, but since been recalled, done a super job. Actually picked up a couple wins on this last road trip and touched 100 miles an hour with his fastball. So the strength definitely back on his fastball. 97 right there.
Echeverria leading off at 7, 8, and 9. And there's a line drive to right field. Davis in on a diving catch by Davis. He robs Echeverria. Timed it perfectly. It kept slicing back, and the dive did the rest. One away.
Well, Chris Davis, for a big guy, is a pretty good athlete. And here, maybe not the best jump or angle, but does make an adjustment and great diving effort. Coming up with the play. Lucky he didn't hurt his wrist, but showing that he did make the play. Nice job as he checks his wrist.
Wayne Kirby likes it, the outfield coach, just like I taught him.
Yeah.
Davis with a smile as Adam Jones keeps talking to him. Yunel Escobar will pinch hit for Jeff Mathis. Escobar back from his suspension. Jeff Mathis was 0 for 2 in his at-bats. And the pitch is outside, 1-0. Wayne Kirby reminding his outfielders Escobar is strong. He can hit it far. There's a strike, 1-1.
Well, you know that the Toronto hitters have heard about Tommy Hunter's arm, so they're thinking about dead red, having to turn it up to catch up to 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. Nice job by Tommy Hunter, a couple sliders.
Can't catch up to 97, and it's 1-2. Rick Adair was telling me before the game, I asked him about this new role with Tommy and if Tommy's found a home in the bullpen. He said when he was drafted in Texas, he was the #1 first-round draft pick out of Alabama. There's the 1-2 pitches outside. And in college, he actually spent quite a bit of time coming into games as a reliever because he was a hard thrower. And Rick said to take care of his arm after he was drafted, when he first went to low A ball, they did work him out of the bullpen, and he was very comfortable in that role. So it's not really foreign to him to come in out of the bullpen. The 2-2 is lying foul. Look out. Couldn't get around on that fastball at 98. And if you think about it, Mike, with his repertoire, as Rick Adair pointed out, he's got the fastball, the overpowering fastball. He's got the breaking ball. And if he only has to go 1 or 2 hitters or 1 or 2 times through the lineup, he certainly has the ability to attack the strike zone, and he throws strikes.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
2-2 is a little low, ball 3.
Well, they have a few pitchers right now that are out in that bullpen. Jake Arrieta and Zach Britton is just out there just in case for the doubleheader. But Brian Mattis, a lot of guys that are starters.
3-2 and a called strike 3.
Nice pitch.
Escobar looked over 1 too many. And that one came in at 97, 2 men down.
Yeah, staying aggressive with that heater. Look at that one, right at the bottom of the zone, 97 miles an hour. If you're thinking about anything else, there's no way you're going to be able to pull the trigger on that.
2 down in the Toronto 7th. Here's Anthony Gose playing in left field. He's 0 for 2. Breaking ball misses outside. But coming in as a reliever, especially if you're a 1-inning reliever, you don't have to worry about setting hitters up and what about his 3rd time up.
Yeah.
Just pound them. There's a bouncer right side. Reynolds wide of the bag will flip to Hunter, gets to the bag ahead of the hustling Ghost. And the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down go the Jays. 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly.
Drive, scoring 2 with Ryan Flaherty in the 5th. Solo home run out to the bullpen. Luis Ayala making the play on him. And Chris Davis flashing the leather out to right field. Beautiful diving catch. Wayne Kirby, outfield coach, giving him some love. Here is the game summary at the bottom of the 7th. Orioles have the lead 4-0. Adam Jones 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a home run, and a couple RBIs. Steve Johnson, nice performance today. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 base on balls, but 6 punch outs. Henderson Alvarez worked tough as well, but the Orioles able to get to him offensively and put 4 on the board.
Well, as the Orioles bat in the 7th, there's J.P. Arancibia now in the game catching. Mathis was pinch hit for, and Escobar stays in the game at shortstop. So Arancibia goes into the number 7 spot vacated by Echeverria. Manny Machado leads off and takes ball 1 from Cecil. Machado, McLeod, and Hardy in the 7th. Pop foul back this way, and 1-1 the count. The Blue Jays bench has only 6 players. They've already used 2. And it's a little amazing in September because that's only 2 above normal. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball to right, hangs up for Rajai Davis, and he's got it for the out and 1 away. Now, don't forget our O's Extra post-game tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Tom and Rick standing by. They'll have all of the recap from this game. You'll hear from Steve Johnson, player interviews from the clubhouse, and more. That all comes your way. O's Extra post-game, all presented by PNC. The Orioles, in contrast, have a 9-man bench with the call-ups and the additions and players coming back from the disabled list. The Orioles are also at the moment going with a 20-man pitching staff. And McLeod towards the hole off the glove of Lind, and McLeod is going to reach. Diving try by Lind. He got to it, but he couldn't glove it. Might not have mattered anyway because Cecil falls off the other way and McLeod can run.
Yeah, as soon as that ball went off Lind's glove, Nate McLeod definitely smelled down. He was already at the base, but Cecil not even close. That ball's having a hard time sticking in Lind's glove. Had a couple chances. Matt Waiters drove one. He was checking his leather out, see if it was in there. Another diving effort. Unable to come up with the ball.
So another pitching change with a right-handed batter coming up. As the Orioles look to add to this 4-0 lead in the 7th inning. Nate McLeod is on with a 1-out single. And the Orioles in the 7th, game 1 with a 4-0 lead.
7 games this year. Spent a little bit of time on the disabled list. But pretty good fastball. Going to see one that can get up to 96 miles an hour. Actually a slider and a splitter to go with it. See 50 strikeouts in 42 1/3 innings. Lefties hitting 246. Righties 226. He stays very aggressive. Likes to come right after hitters with his stuff.
Yep, the moon is up there. It'll be a while before we can see the full effects. As the lights will eventually begin to take effect here for this twilight doubleheader. Just an absolutely perfectly clear day. And here's J.J. Hardy, who broke out of it with a single. His last at bat. J.J. snapping his 0 for 15. So now a positive streak is on its way. McLouth on at first, 4-0 game. Bottom of the 7th. And a strike on the outside corner. Jason Frazier has pitched in more games than any pitcher in Blue Jays history. This is his 503rd appearance. Well off the plate. And he likes it in Toronto so much that last year, after he was traded away to the White Sox acquired him for their pennant run. He became a free agent, came right back to Toronto. Pitched in only 20 games down the stretch for the White Sox. One and one on Hardy with McLouth at first. There's a strike, 1-2.
Well, I'm sure the Blue Jays are pretty happy to get him back. Obviously a veteran pitcher, very familiar with the Blue Jays, but they've needed him as well. As many arm problems as they've had throughout the year. So good to have a veteran pitcher out there out of the bullpen.
1-2 on Hardy. Strike 3 called. Paints the outside corner. And 2 men are out.
Yeah, he wasn't going to challenge J.J. Hardy with an inside fastball at all. Living on the edge. 3 pretty good pitches right on the outside corner with J.J. Hardy.
The Blue Jays acquired Jason Frazier just before the 2004 season began. He had spent the year before in the Dodgers minor league system, beginning in A ball and finishing up in Double-A. And he was acquired for an outfielder who was underachieving in Toronto by the name of Jason Worth. And Jason Worth went to the Dodgers, turned his career around, became a free agent, went to Philadelphia, and then signed the huge contract with the Nationals. McLouth runs and a swing and a miss. Arancibia drops the ball, so McLouth has the bag. His 10th steal as an Oriole. He's in scoring position with 2 down.
Well, that's what speed will do to you. J.P. Arancibia tries to be a little bit too quick with that transfer. Unable to get McLouth. Nice jump by Nate. 10th stolen base this year.
And now with the runner at third, John Farrell takes the shift off, so Davis has a regular defense out there for the first time in a while as Laurie goes back to third base. Oh, good hack. Fouls it straight back 0-2.
And the one thing about Chris Davis, and I'm really surprised that they had such a huge shift on him, is he has been utilizing left field quite a bit recently. Backing the ball up, driving the ball that way. Certainly if he hits it on the ground, most generally it is to the right side, but you know, he's been using the whole field.
2 outs, McLouth at second, 0-2 on Davis. Frazier trying to keep this a 4-run game. And the 0-2 is high, a ball and 2 strikes. The Orioles in this game have reached the 2 magic numbers. One is the home run. If they win, it will be their 75th win with a home run, but the other is scoring 4 runs. The Orioles are 67-16 when they score 4 runs.
Well, that's a good number.
Testament to the back of the bullpen. Bounces away from Arcibia. McLeod will take third.
Split finger right there from Frazier. Goes about 40 feet. Arcibia really no chance. Block that one. Goes into the camera booth over there by the Orioles dugout.
So McLeod, the infield hit, stolen base, wild pitch. He's at third with 2 men down. From 0-2 to 2-2 on Davis. And he got him. Got a fastball by him. Davis down on strikes. That ends the inning as Frazier comes on and strikes out 2. A hit, a man left. We'll head to the 8th and a 4-0 Orioles lead. Of the game, he has won $500 for being selected and another $100 for each strikeouts the Orioles have recorded today. And so far in the game, there have been 7 strikeouts, so Nelson has already won $1,200 for all the latest information on new games, current promotions, and second chance contests. Visit mdlottery.com. They are out in their orange. That's a good look. That had Mike Bordick all over. Oh, yeah. The orange wig. Andy Chavez takes over in right field for Chris Davis.
Mark Reynolds just getting back out on the field. Had to get some glasses. There's one little sunspot on the infield. Mark Reynolds is right in the middle of it.
First ball swinging is Laurie, and he fouls it back. Laurie, Rasmus, Encarnacion for Toronto in the 8th. Tommy Hunter's 2nd inning of work. And he misses down and away. Johnson 5 scoreless. Hatton a scoreless inning. And Tommy Hunter facing his 4th batter. Fouled off, and it's 1-2. No activity behind Tommy in the Orioles pen.
Now, you had talked about Tommy Hunter coming out of the bullpen now. Doesn't really have to worry about throwing his full arsenal of pitches. He can stay strong with that fastball, maybe mix in a slider. But we've seen that same thing coming out of Brian Mattis. He's a 5-pitch pitcher, but coming out of the bullpen, pretty much sticking with his fastball, a little cutter, maybe a slider, not having to worry about so many pitches, being aggressive coming out of the pen, and that's what we're seeing from Tommy Hunter.
Misses outside for ball 2. Nick Markakis on the bench. Buck Showalter said before the game it's getting very close where that cast is going to come off and a splint will replace it. Bouncer foul wide of third.
Well, you know Nick Markakis is losing his patience with that cast, and I'm sure once it comes off and a splint is on, he's going to start grabbing a bat and trying to push it as quickly as he can.
Jason Hamill also anxious to get back on the field. Nothing new on his knee today. 2-2 pitch is fouled back. Another real good at bat by Brett Lawrie. He's already seen 7 pitches in this at bat. Well, Sembenemid is back.
There's a splint on his wrist.
Guess he got tired of Sarasota.
Yeah.
Wanted to be around the fellas. Foul back again. So Lawrie can't put the ball in play, but Tommy can't put him away. He's already fouled off 6 pitches. He's about to see the 8th pitch in this at bat.
Yeah, all over too. I mean, Tommy's pitching him tough. That one up and in. I don't know how he got the bat to that ball.
Make it 9th pitch in this at bat. Foul back again. How many baseballs do you think they rub up for a doubleheader?
Oh my.
Dozens.
Yeah.
Another 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. How about that? He said, all right, you're fouling off the heater. How about this bender?
Yeah, great slider from Tommy Hunter. It was pretty much great challenge match there. Lowry fouling off some tough pitches. Tommy Hunter says, heck with it. I'll try the slider. Just a beautiful pitch. Locking Lowry up.
Well, there was a nice 10-pitch at bat. And here's Colby Rasmus. And he'll look it over high, 1-0. Rasmus has walked twice. He has flied out. And he is just 2 out of his last 20. And again, missing high, 2-0.
Tommy trying to get ahead with that slider.
This is high, ball 3. Buck Showalter, before the game, when he met with the media, was talking about the pitching usage in this series. 3-0 is their first strike, 3-1. And of course, with Steve Johnson going 5 today, he had a plan behind him, and that plan became Patton and Hunter. He'll have a plan for game 2 behind Wei-Yin Chen, and then 2 games before Thursday. 3-1 is there for a strike, 3-2, and Thursday is the last day off of the regular season. No travel, no commitments, just a day off. So by Friday, he can regroup with the pitching and align it for the Red Sox series.
Sure. Well, align it for the Red Sox series, and then it's time to start thinking about possibly the postseason.
And he struck him out on a fastball, 97 miles an hour. These fans are into it. Back-to-back Ks and 2 men down.
Well, Tommy Hunter, great job coming back from 3-0. Just buzzes this fastball up and in by him at 97 miles an hour. Not a chance there tying Rasmus up.
I wonder if Buck would go a 3rd inning with Tommy Hunter, and if so, he'd qualify for a save. How about that?
Okay.
Save everybody else for the 2nd game as Encarnacion fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
Well, and you know Tommy Hunter doesn't want to come out of the ball game. He wants to be out there pitching as much as he can.
Foul back, it's 0-2. There's a lot of red on the scorecard next to Edwin Encarnacion's name. 3 times up, 3 strikeouts. Fans want another. And a slow roller towards third. Tough play for Machado. He gloves, he throws the scoop. Nope, it got by him. That's a base hit. Reynolds tried to glove it. It skipped on by him. So a 2-out single for Edwin Encarnacion. Don't miss the final regular season game this year at Oriole Park. Birds and Red Sox Sunday at 1:35, and the first 20,000 fans received the J.J. Hardy bobblehead presented by AT&T. This was the bobblehead voted on by the fans at the beginning of the year. So make sure you'll add JJ to your Birdland collection. Tickets are still available, but they're going fast. Get yours, 888-848-BIRD, or visit Orioles.com. And don't forget, as we continue to whittle down the magic number, you don't know when that game might come. So if you get your tickets in advance, you might be at the game. The Orioles might clinch.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of mights in there, but you got to project out.
Sure do.
Rick Adair out to talk with Tommy Hunter as Darren O'Day gets loose. Rick wanted to make sure Tommy was okay.
Yeah, Tommy kind of stretching out a little bit. J.J. Hardy went up to talk to him, and then Rick Adair comes out of the dugout.
And here's Adam Lind, who has a single in 3 trips, batting with 2 outs and 1 on. And a fastball's right there. So maybe Adair said, ease up a little bit, throw a strike. He only threw 95.
Yeah.
You don't need the 90.
Yeah, why are you wasting your time?
Just get it in there.
Throw that cheese.
Here's the 0-1. Right there for a strike, and it's 0-2. All right, so now if you're Adam Lind, what are you looking for? You better be looking 97, but that bender might come.
Yeah, that's right. That's why certainly advantage Hunter.
And fisted towards left field. Hardy can't get it. It's a base hit. Hardy was shading up the middle, and he just got enough of it to hit it into left field. So there's a 2-out single and 2 on with 2 down. Time for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Ryan Flaherty, a solo home run in 3 trips. How about Steve Johnson, 5 scoreless innings? Or Adam Jones, 3 for 3 with his 32nd home run and 2 RBIs. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 31826.
Now Matt Wieters out to visit with Tommy Hunter. Probably give Darren O'Day a little bit of time to get loose. But Tommy Hunter's making some great pitches. Just some bad luck right now. That was a really good pitch to Adam Lind. A little cutter at 92 miles an hour that ran up and in on him. He just somehow was able to get the bat on it. Just flare one out there past J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, 2 hits, a swinging butt, and a flare. And here's Rajay Davis. Can't catch up to it. That might have been his cutter because that one moved away from the swing.
Yeah, it sure was. Good pitch. Throws that cutter with that late movement and still great velocity, 92 miles an hour.
Right there, 0-2. The enthusiasm in this ballpark is infectious. Overthrew that one wide of the plate, 1-2. Fans continue to file in. Get off work, come to the doubleheader, see most of game 1 and all of game 2. The 1-2 pitch just outside, 2-2.
Pretty good spot right there from Tommy Hunter, though. Good location down in the zone. Chad Fairchild's been making that call pretty close.
Line drive, base hit left center field, and the Jays are going to get on the board. Adam Jones runs it down. Davis flying to second base, and he's got an RBI double. Well, the Blue Jays are not going quietly after 2 strikeouts to begin the inning, 3 consecutive hits, and it's not only a 4-1 game. The tying run comes to the plate.
Tommy Hunter challenging right here, but this fastball just up and out over a little bit. Davis able to get the bat head to it. Nice line drive, base hit to pick up an RBI.
So we'll get a pitching change as Buck Showalter comes out. Tommy Hunter will leave after going an inning and 2/3. He allows a run, 2 men on his responsibility. And Darren Day will come on here, 2 outs, 2 on in the 8th. The Orioles on the year. Darren O'Day comes on. Last 28 games, you see the numbers there, just outstanding as O'Day comes on to try to get the final out here in the 8th inning. It's a 4-1 game, and the Orioles leading by 3.
Yeah, Darren O'Day, another one of those workhorse arms coming out of the bullpen for Buck Showalter. 65 games this year, 64 2/3 innings pitched. Look at that, 66 strikeouts, just 14 base on balls. Lefty's hitting 214, righty's just 199, and he has the unique ability of being able to locate that slider both in and out to both lefties and righties.
Tommy Hunter on the bench. He retired the first 5, then a bit of misfortune there. The swinging bunt hit, the flare base hit, and then a rocket double by Rajay Davis to drive in the run. So Lyndon Davis on with 2 down for O'Day against Kelly Johnson. There's a breaking ball, bends in there for a strike. In these situations, runners in scoring position with 2 down, O'Day has held opposing hitters to a 206 average. Late on the swing, and it's 0-2.
He mixes it up so well, and he has that great ability to throw everything that he has for strikes. Nice sinker, great slider, and of course that pitch right there, that fastball that acts like a riser up in the zone that Johnson couldn't lay off of.
Another 0-2 count this inning. Backs him off the plate and a ball and 2 strikes. It's kind of amazing that a major league hitter can be late on a swing on an 87-mile-an-hour pitch, but the pitch before set him up for it.
He sure did. Great backdoor slider. A lot slower, probably 10 miles an hour slower, but also the fact that he's coming from a completely different angle than a lot of hitters are used to seeing.
1-2, 2 on, 2 out. And he struck him out. Gets the fastball by him, and O'Day does the job. So the Blue Jays threaten. They settle for 1 and Strand 2 will into the bottom of the 8th. The O's lead it 4-1. First Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. To date, the Orioles have drawn 459 walks for a total of $22,950. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle.
Well, now on Chad Beck, he's been in 9 games this year, spent all of the year in AAA, but due to injury, getting an opportunity to come up and show what he has for the Blue Jays. 11 1/3 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 4 base on balls, 8 earned runs. Look at that, lefties 350, righties 310. Got a pretty good fastball, can top out about 96, and a slider and a split finger to go along with it. Command has been the issue for Beck this year.
So Beck will go to work now. Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, And then Jim told me Adam has a perfect day going, 3 for 3. His 32nd home run. It was a 2-run shot that gave the Orioles the lead, broke a scoreless tie in the 4th. His 46th multi-hit game on the year. And it stays inside from Beck. Breaking ball. And 1-0. Good hack straight back, 1-1. Manny Machado on the bench.
Tell you what, it's great for Manny Machado. Obviously, at such a young age to.
He's hanging out with the old guys.
Yeah,
there.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be able to come up here, and obviously, he's talented enough to be here. But to learn from so many of the veterans, I mean, learn how pitchers are going to pitch it. Talking to Randy Wolf, who's 14 years in the major leagues.
High fly left field. Will it stay fair? Down the line, the call is foul. Brian O'Nora straddling the line, gave it a good look, and it just curved foul.
Well, Adam Jones has feasted on mistakes this year. His MO throughout the early part of his career was throwing sliders down and away. Well, this year, if you make a mistake with a slider, oh my goodness, look at the crowd back there. Everybody up, and just foul.
A 1-2 the count. And he fouls it off to stay alive. Real good pitch. Ron Johnson with Dick Markakis. Ron did a fabulous job this year managing at AAA Norfolk. Seemed every day Buck Showalter called down. Hey, who's playing well? We might need somebody. And then Dan Duquette would call and say, hey, send so-and-so up.
Yeah.
Get him on a plane. Line drive right field, base hit. 4 for 4 day for Adam Jones. Wow, when he starts using the whole field, he is really dangerous. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Second 4-hit game of the season for Adam Jones. He now has 179 base hits. Any chance he could get 21 hits in the next 9 games?
He probably could, man. I mean, when he gets going.
One day, I want to say it was about 3 weeks ago, he was talking by the batting cage to whoever was listening during BP, that is a goal that if you could get 200 hits in a season, you did something. Of course, he's already done a lot. And looking at the numbers at the time, my thought was, I like the fact that he has the goal. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it. It's within 21 games
very
to go.
Impressive. You see the way he's hitting the ball tonight, and you think, man, it's definitely in reach.
Jim Johnson with Bill Castro looking over the matchups. Jim getting loose to come on. Right now it's a save situation, so that's why he's getting loose. Throw to first and Jones back. Want to know the count on Wieters. And he swings through it. There have been only 6 200-hit seasons in the history of the Orioles franchise, amazingly enough, going all the way back to 1954, only 6. And the first didn't happen until 1980 when Al Bunbury got 205. Wieters fouls it back. Miguel Tejada has 2, And in 2005, he had 199. That was tough. Cal has done it twice. B.J. Surhoff once. You witnessed that. That was 99. And then Al Bunbury back in 1980. That's amazing.
It really is. And it is hard to get 200 hits.
1-2 on Wieters. And it's in the dirt, knocked down by Aaron Sebia. May have hit the foot of the umpire, Chad Fairchild. But it's all about consistency, and Adam has done a terrific job this year fine-tuning the swing, working with Jim Presley, remembering not to chase that pitch that's out of the strike zone, down and away. At times you fall back into it, but for the most part he's laid off it, use right field, get that pitch to pull.
Well, to even be that close to 200 hits tells you what kind of hitter Adam Jones is. With the power numbers he's put up this year and to still be that productive getting base hits, unbelievable.
Adam took off, but Wieters fouled it off, so he'll have to come back. He's also played in every game on the year.
Yeah.
He certainly learned that from Nick Markakis, who, when healthy, never wants to be out of the lineup. And when you play next to somebody in the outfield, that's his attitude, it rubs off on you. And Adam now a team leader on this team. Nick trying to get back in there.
Exactly right. And Adam Jones has played dinged up. He hasn't been 100% all year. Remember when he got hit in the hand up in Toronto? He had to deal with that. And you saw his power numbers go down for about a month until it actually recovered, but still played great baseball. So he knows how to play through, minor injuries, being banged up.
And he said the other day in Boston, every game is huge because they're on the verge of something that is huge, and that's qualifying for the postseason.
Well, his attitude has become contagious on this team, and he's had a great attitude since spring training, but every time he talks to the media, he talks about how important every game is. It's must win right now, and everybody has bought into it, much like the way everybody's bought into Buck Showalter's philosophy. Well, Adam Jones is certainly the team leader, and every time he talks the importance of winning ball games and going at it the right way and the urgency, and he doesn't only back it up with his words but how he performs on the field.
Adam took off again, and Wieters fouled it off again. This will be the 8th pitch coming. Before the game, Buck Showalter was asked if he's sensing his players maybe getting anxious because they're closing in on a possible playoff berth, and he said no, they're looking at it like it's the next 9 innings. That's his philosophy. They bought into it. They follow that. Jones runs again, swing and a miss, and Adams going to have the base. The pitch was down and in, and Aaron Sebia had to go down and get it, and as a result he had no throw. So Jones steals the bag, his 15th, and he's in scoring position with 1 down. Good pitch by Beck.
Oh, it was a good pitch. Nice slider down in the zone. Wieters unable to lay off that. Pretty good pickup by J.P. Aaron Sebia, but unable to make that throw.
So here's Jim Thome with a chance for an RBI. Fouled off out of play. The sun is no longer a factor. The lights have not yet taken effect, and they won't for some time. We're in the twilight of the day now in autumn, so the days are getting shorter. It is supposed to warm up by midweek, but it's very autumnal here today.
It sure is. What a great feel, isn't it? Football season, of course, postseason baseball upon us.
Jones takes off, throw to third. He is out at third base. Beck forgot about him. He tried to sneak in there, and Laurie caught it, and Beck was able to step off in time. So Adam aggressively trying to get to third. They catch him, and 2 men are down.
Yeah, it's a situation where Adam Jones thinks that Beck is just going on timing, looks to the plate, but Beck aware of that. Pretty good heads-up play by Beck. If he's a one look and then go home, and that's what Adam Jones was kind of depending on. At that time, Beck caught him out of the corner of his eye.
2 outs, the base is empty. And a slow roller towards first. Fielding it is Johnson, the second baseman, and he'll get it to first. And the game, or the inning, is over. So base hit, none left. Jim Johnson time to go to the ninth with the Orioles up by 3. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. Well, it's time to hunt. Oh, yeah. Hey, the Kool-Aid guy. Here's Jim Johnson, the saves leader in the American League, looking for number 48.
Yeah, Jim Johnson has been a monster as a closer this year. 67 games, 47 saves out of 50 attempts. Done a super job. 64 and 2/3 innings. Look at that, 39 strikeouts, so pretty interesting for a closer. 231 to lefties, 221 for righties. Great movement on his fastball, induces a lot of ground ball contact. He's got a great infield to back him up.
And a new infielder, part of that infield, Robert Andino, takes over at second base for Ryan Flaherty. So the Orioles are 3 outs away from a win. Here's Aaron Sebia batting for a first time, and he takes a strike. Escobar's on deck, and then Anthony Gose. Off-speed pitch misses low, 1-1. Line drive, base hit to center field. Aaron Sebia is on with a leadoff single. Well, earlier today, Jim Johnson on the field in a pregame ceremony. Jim has been named the Orioles representative for the Roberto Clemente Award, and he received his honor for being a finalist, one of the 30 finalists, and one player from one of the teams in Major League Baseball of the 30 will be presented with that Roberto Clemente Award during the World Series. It's an award that recognizes on-field accomplishments and off-field endeavors in the community. And Jim does quite a bit for charity, and he's being recognized for that. Well, 0-1 on Escobar. Ground ball towards short. Hardy, Andino, Reynolds. 2 down, the base runner erased. 2 down in the ninth. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. And the fans are loving it. And Steve Johnson with his 5 scoreless inning out in front. Still time to vote and have your voice heard. A, B, or C. It's a 3-1-8-2-6. And Tom and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra postgame. Since Jim Johnson last suffered a blown save on July the 27th, He's appeared in 22 games. He's 1-0 with 17 saves in those 22 games. And there's a strike taken, 1-1 on Ghost. And his ERA might combine in the 22 games he's pitched 21 innings. He's given up 1 run. 1 run in 22 games. A 0.43 ERA. Pitch misses outside, 2-1. And the fans are on their feet at Camden Yards. They want to strike out to end it. The magic number would be trimmed to 6. Two-1, swing and a miss. Power sinker, 2-2.
Yeah, I'll say 95 miles an hour. Great location. Moving just off the outside corner, inducing that swing.
Playoff fever. Oh, he just got a piece. They are hungry. 97's a long time ago. They want a winner. Struck him out, and the Orioles win it. Ghost goes down on strikes, and the Orioles get the opener in this twilight doubleheader as Adam Jones has a 4-hit day and got him going with a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. So the Orioles win it by a final of 4-1, their 88th win on the year, as they get the opener in this doubleheader.